going on a losing streak, losing your confidence, and just trying to dig yourself out of a hole that you seem to keep digging deeper and deeper is one of the really, really tough parts about trading. What's even worse is that I was trading really, really well until I went on my losing streak. And then once I went on my losing streak, it just felt like everything else was collapsing around me when it came to my trading. I was breaking rules. I wasn't following my pre-market plans that were playing out perfectly. And I was just having all the emotions. But luckily, I've started to kind of dig myself out of the hole. All I can say is thank God for the YouTube community on the live streams, my boy Hobbs, the Discord, because they have really, really helped me just kind of gain my confidence back. And, reviewing my journal, I see it too. So let me take you over to TradeZilla so I can show you what I've been talking about and the week that I've had currently. This week currently is a red week. On Monday, I was down $206. On Tuesday, I was down $11.03. And then today, actually turned it around and made a green day, and I'm up $57.50. So on Monday, I took 4 trades, all losses. Really tough emotional day for trading. Normally, I try to stick to a 3-trade rule. If I lose 3 trades in a row, I try to walk away. Unfortunately, I broke that rule. I didn't follow it, and I took 4 losses in a row. And the big thing that I did here was I just didn't follow my pre-market plan. If I had followed my pre-market plan, I had a demand zone that we bounced from perfectly. It would have been a great trade. And instead, I just got impatient, and I was chasing the longs in the wrong areas. The first trade that I took was a break and retest trade. And that's not a setup that I normally take. But because we were so bullish the past couple of days, I let that bias get in the way of how I wanted to trade. And I decided to try a long, and I completely got ate up on the long. I hesitated. I got in at the top, and I quickly got stopped out a few minutes later. The next trade, I had the exact same thesis as the first trade, same level, same area, completely disregarded the fact that we put in a higher low here. We failed to break the high of day. I had a chance to get out for profit, completely disregarded the fact that we couldn't break the high. I mean, there were so many reasons why I shouldn't have even been in this trade, but I could have got out for profit. And I just ignored all the signs and just decided I was going to take a full loss, really for no reason, when I was in profit. So that was the second loss I took on the day. The third loss I took on the day, while a little bit better, I saw some buying, not at a key level for me, no key area, just saw some buying and decided to take the market long. Again, I was in profit, but I didn't really think about the red flags. I didn't see the stalling out in price, the rejection we were getting, and I ended up taking a loss, much smaller this time, only 2.25 instead of a full 4-point loss. But still, those were 2 losses I didn't need to take, and I actually could have been in profit, or at the very least gone to break even, just knowing that the trade wasn't moving as quickly as I wanted it to. And then the final trade I took on the day was just another complete L. This was a complete revenge trade. I was upset at this point, and I saw some strong selling coming into the market. Quickly, we got bought back up. I decided to get in long. We had some strong buying that got shut down immediately. Again, I had an opportunity to get out and just cover, and instead, because I was emotional at this point, I just took a full loss of the 4 points and pretty much called it a day. And the sad thing is that maybe about an hour later, we came down to the low where my actual planned pre-market area to trade was, and we ended up having a really nice 10-point rip. So, just got to be more patient, and I can't let my emotions affect what I'm doing as far as trading goes. Now on to Tuesday, I had the same exact problems that I had on Monday. I refused to wait for my area to be tested. And instead, I was trying to long the market at areas that seemed like they were good because there was just a little bit of buying there. And I missed the bottom, which I had completely drawn out because I didn't want to wait and potentially miss the move. And I just wasn't patient enough to wait for my area. And once we got down there, I was too afraid to long the market because I had already taken losses and I didn't want to take another loss. And in the back of my mind, with the 3 trade rule, I didn't want to just give up the final trade with a loss. And yeah, my first 3 trades didn't go too well, and then my last trade, I did fairly okay. And the other big mistake that I made was I also took a revenge trade, which I didn't need to take at all. So my first trade was a quick $15 loss. Again, tried to long the market, was in an area where, I shouldn't have been trying to trade. The only thing that I had was an inverse head and shoulders. We had the shoulder here, the head here, and the shoulder here. I took the market long, and we quickly got rejected. But this time, I didn't fall in love with my position, and I cut it as soon as I realized we weren't going any higher. So at least I'm proud about that. That was an improvement from Monday. This next trade, I don't even know what I was thinking, honestly. Like, I had no business. I had no business taking this trade. And I cut this trade really quickly too, which tells me I had no business taking this trade. I just saw this 1-minute candle right here. I saw an increase in volume. I thought this could be a reversal. And I kind of waited for this next candle to start to push up after we got this little red candle. And I immediately just recognized what I was doing and got out. And I think this, again, just stemmed from being frustrated on that first trade, on that first long. And I just took another revenge trade. I don't sometimes when you're emotional, just all your thoughts go out the window. And again, luckily I'm doing this on small size, right? So it doesn't affect me from a monetary standpoint whatsoever, but I can go back and review these and be like, okay, you were really, really stupid for taking this trade. Like, you were really, really dumb. And that's this one right here. And because of that frustration, this next trade was even worse. Now, real fast, just to preference this, if you remember on the day before, I said that 48.74, 48.75 was my key level, and we came right back into it, and this ended up being the low of day again the next day. And because I took those other 2 losses, I was hesitant to take the long down here for fear of taking another losing trade. So what did I do? I decided to let this thing rally up, and then I tried to short up here at this high. And then I started seeing signs of some buying, like maybe this might hold because we weren't dropping as quickly as I wanted to. So I told myself, okay, self, you know what? If this decides that it wants to drop and then get bought back up, and we look like we're going to go long, I'll just reverse my position. I'll just hit the reverse button, reverse and clear, or clear and reverse, and I'll take the market long, and my risk will still be really, really low. So what did my dumb self do? I reversed the position. I got out for break even, luckily, and then tried to take the long. I took a 3-point loss on this trade, and at this point, I was pretty frustrated. And then my final trade on the day, finally, I got my head on straight, and I decided to long the market. I got confirmation. I didn't hesitate. I got right into the longs based off of what I was reading off of Bookmap, which is the tape. I actually have a tape, Bookmap course, I guess you could say, on how I read Bookmap. So that'll be in the description or in that little box above. But based off the tape and what I saw, I took the market long, and we ended up rallying really, really nice. And the only critique I can really give myself with this trade is I just got to be able to hold, because I missed out on a massive rally. Like this thing, I think we broke all-time highs. Yeah, we broke at least the highs on ES. Had I just held, I left a lot of meat on the bone with this trade, and a lot of it is due to the fact that I got in late. I got in, down here at 4.87725, which hindsight being 2020, it really wasn't actually all that late, but I would have much preferred to get in at the low. But I ended up getting stopped out in this consolidation. One other thing that I could have done is I could have just re-entered in this area. I had a reason to, but I just didn't do it. And had I re-entered here, I could have wrote it up the rest of the way. So, just a critique moving forward of whenever we're holding price, I should be trying to find ways to continue the trend, because this was just a pause in the trend. It was just a long pause. And that brings us to today, Wednesday, January 24th. I only took one trade today. I took the market short, and wasn't the best trade for risk to reward wise. But from a planned trade, it was good. So I didn't have this trade planned out in the pre-market, but I did have the trade planned out before the trade ended up happening, right? It wasn't on the fly, right? Those other trades were more so on the fly, but this trade, I realized that the market couldn't get above this high, but because we're so high up, because the uptrend has been so strong, I wanted to make sure we could break this low and then come back up and retest it. And that's where I wanted to get short. And that's exactly what I did. I ended up getting short up here at the high. I only really need to risk, honestly, a point if I really wanted to, but I risked 4 points just to give myself more room because I was taking a much more aggressive and earlier entry. So I didn't want to get stopped out prematurely because I was very, very confident on this trade. And my first target was 49.10, but I was trying to hold to 49.06. That was like my ultimate target. And we ended up bottoming out down here. And I think like the 200 EMA or like SMA was down here. And so we ended up getting a bounce. I quickly covered. And then I set my last contract to break even. And, you know, it wasn't a big win on the day. But again, it's not about the money. It's just about following and executing my plan. Over the past 5 days, I haven't been doing a very good job executing on my plan. My plans have been on point, but my execution's been bad. So I take the good with the bad. I'm glad that my plans are working out because that gives me confidence. But what gives me even more confidence is when I take the trades I've planned for. And that's what I need to do more of moving forward. Before I hit this slump, I was doing a very good job of waiting for my plan and executing on that plan. And I kind of got away from that. And the more and more I lost, the harder it was for me to trust my plans. And that's what really put me into this rut and what really continued to dig the hole deeper. And now I'm starting to climb my way out of that hole by following my plan day in and day out. And that's going to build the confidence so that when I do end up sizing up and I'm on larger size, it's just going to give me that much more confidence and I won't be worried or sweating the small stuff. Hopefully, me going over my trade, me going over my flaws, me going over what I'm doing right is going to help you on your trading journey as much as it's helping me on mine. I really appreciate you guys watching and making it this far. Please make sure you hit the subscribe button. That way you keep following me on my journey. But I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.